What are you cooking today, Miss Martha? Well, I'm going international. I'm making Carolina wings, I'm making Spanish rice, and I'm making French string beans. A little bit of multitasking in the beginning, but once you get it all organized, it's just smooth sailing. I can sit down and go paint or crochet on my Chihuahua sweaters. That's the way I like to do a meal. I like to get everything prepped, organized, rocking and rolling, and then move on about my day. I don't want to be hectic. So the point of my videos that I share with you is to try to show you how to navigate a normal kitchen. How a real housewife just goes about cooking. Nothing special about what I do. I'm sure your mama cooks just as well, maybe even better than I do. But this is how I cook. First thing I've got to do is I've got a nice batch of chicken wings here. God, they're up to $22 to get some chicken wings these days. 5 pounds of chicken wings, $22. Wow. 2022, that's what it did to us. Made everything so expensive. But I've got to take the chicken wings. I'm going to have to rinse those off onto cold water in the sink. Once they have rinsed off, I'm going to put them in a Pyrex baking dish. Put 1 cup of just regular kitchen tap water in the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to put a little olive oil, a little salt and pepper over the chicken wings, and they're going to go in the oven. It's preheated at 400 degrees so they can start crisping up their outside skin. While that chicken is in the oven, I'm going to go ahead and start making my barbecue sauce on the stove top from scratch, my Carolina barbecue sauce. What makes it Carolina is it's vinegar based. I'm going to start my rice. Has to start, usually, I love to use the arborio rice, but you know, I'm going to use up what I got. So I'm going to use some arborio and some balsamic because that's what I've got in the pantry. But I'm going to put my rice on to boil because that's got to get tender before I can add the other seasoning to that. And I've got French string beans here. There's nothing French about cooking them. It's just the cut of the string beans, why they call them that. So they're going to go on the stove top. They're going to cook. All right. Let's get started. I will pause you while I rinse the chicken and get that in. I'll meet you over at the stove and show you how I'm going to make my barbecue sauce. Thanks for joining today. Go get you a cup of coffee and I'll meet you in a minute. All right, my wings going to go in the oven. I'll meet you over at the stove. Okay, I'm over at my stove top now. So far, I've got the chicken wings are in the oven. They're crisping up at 400 degrees. Nothing on them but just a little salt, pepper, olive oil. My rice covered with water. That's on the back burner back here. Nothing in that but just the rice and the water. Now, let's deal with that first before I move on to the next item. What's going to make it Spanish rice is, once it's tender, I'm going to add in 2 cans drained of green peas, 1 can of condensed tomato soup, and 1 bag of Mexican cheese, 1 bag of colby jack cheese. The spices are kind of the same spices that are going to be going into my barbecue sauce, as well as some of the same similar spices will be going into the string beans. All flavor profiles that blend together my international dishes of my Carolina wings, French string beans, and Spanish rice. I'm going to go ahead and measure out my spices before, so I can clean up and put everything away for that will go in the rice in this little bowl over here. I'm going to have 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of, this is a special, this was hot Hungarian paprika. I like that one. Okay. Just a little dash of salt. And a little dash of pepper. And that'll be my spice when I add the other ingredients to the rice after it's soft. There's no need to put it in right now because that kind of hinders the rice getting tender. So I'll set that off to the side back here. As what's going to go into the string beans, right now they're just covered with water and they're turned on to come to a boil. Let me turn my rice down a little bit so I don't have so much steam y'all can't see me talk. Here we go. Just turn the string beans up a little bit. All right. Into the string beans, I'm going to have 1 teaspoon of celery salt, kind of like when I was doing a black eyed pea video. Lots of people in the old days, we used to throw a ham hock in with the string beans. Don't cook like that anymore. Okay. 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. 1, 2. Stir that in. 1¼ tablespoon of salt, just a hint. Same thing, 1/4 tablespoon black pepper. You know, you really should shoot this off to the side. You don't dump the whole thing in there by mistake. Okay. Now, to give it that little oofness that it needs, that it would have gotten from the ham hock, it's got to have a little olive oil in it. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons of olive oil. That's all I need in the string beans. That's the way my husband likes them. You know, lots of the things that I cook, I'm cooking with less salt, less sugar, less fat. You're allowed, if you try to copy and try to create the dishes yourself, which I hope that you do, you may want more salt. That's up to you. It's your own personal taste. So season as desired, which is what most people write in their instructions. Go back, turn that rice down a little bit. It's cooking fast back there. Turn that down. I'm not ready for you yet. Slow down, rice. Okay. You get me a clean spoon over here for the barbecue sauce. Let's get that rocking and rolling. Leave these spices back over that. All right. I'm going to start off with a half bottle of ketchup. I just bought the cheap brand for this one because it's not like it's, you know, going on a hot dog or your french fries. You won't know the difference. This is just the store brand. Half bottle of ketchup. Put tops back on it later. Half cup of white wine vinegar. Half teaspoon of salt. Half teaspoon of pepper. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. A little citric acid. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Miss Martha, you're not measuring with a spoon. Yeah. All cooks like me, we don't really need a spoon. Let me stir the rice. What my boys fussing back? I hear my chihuahuas. Put the rice all the way down to simmer. There we go. Okay. Turn this on. Put that vinegar in there. I'm going to have to turn the fan up. I'll talk louder to talk over the fan because that vinegar, the fumes, they can sometimes overwhelm you. See, I need a dry tablespoon to finish measuring over here for my barbecue sauce. Chili powder, 1 teaspoon. There's a Mrs. Dash extra spicy. I love this one. 1 teaspoon. Red cayenne pepper, ½ teaspoon. Oops, ½ teaspoon. Did I get some on you, Tito? Move out from mommy's feet. Ground paprika, ½ teaspoon. Regular cayenne, got red, ½ teaspoon. That Hungarian hot paprika, ½ teaspoon. Come on, get it in there. There we go. Let's stop and stir that around. Onion powder, 1 tablespoon. Garlic powder, 1 tablespoon. Turmeric, tomato, potato, pecan, you know, however you're going to say it. Turmeric, 1/2 tablespoon. And that just leaves my curry powder. Madras curry powder, 1/2 teaspoon. I'll put the tops on that, put all that back in the spice because I like to keep my kitchen clean. Put this over here, top's got to go back on that too. All right. Now it's just a matter of letting this come to a boil. I'm going to turn it back down, let it cool back down to room temperature before I pour it on my chicken. So we're at the easy stages here. I can pause the video and pick back up later once things have cooked more. My rice is boiling back there till it gets tender. My string beans are going to boil until they get tender. So we got at least 40 minutes that the video is going to be paused and I'm going to be off living my life, which I hope you'll hang in there with me and pick back up when I come back in to show you the finished product. My barbecue sauce is ready to roll. So once the rice is tender, we'll add the spice and the other ingredients of that. Once this is ready, we'll add that to the chicken, and that'll just be smelling delicious when my husband gets home. Nothing to do but, oh, check it out, man. Valentine's Day candies in the store already. Can you believe it? This one says get a good one. I can't beat it. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Okay. See you in a few minutes. Oops, my mama's rolling over in the grave. She said, Martha, you forgot the 1 teaspoon sugar. All right, Mom, it's in there. All right, I've added my spice to the rice. All we have to do is add our 2 cans of drained green peas. I don't think I'm going to need but a 1/2 can of soup. It's kind of filling up just enough to give it a hint of orange. I finished stirring that in and then I'll put the cheese on top of that. Let's go ahead. My chicken has crisped up nicely. Let's put our homemade Carolina barbecue sauce. Chicken. Ooh, made a mess. Okay, spread that out so everything's coated. Chicken will go back in the oven, uncovered. Rice will also be uncovered. So we'll be on that little buddy. Everybody needs some loving. Everybody needs some loving. There we go. Pretty, doesn't it? So we've got Carolina wings, Spanish rice. My French beans are still on the stove. They're not going to go in the oven. So I'll finish stirring this all together. I don't have time on my video. Oh, yeah. Need to wait for a minute. Get this ready. Trying to save time. I don't want to waste your time sitting there watching me doing something mundane. Beautiful. Put our cheese on top. Well, I only needed a 1/2 can of the tomato soup and a 1/2 bag each of the cheese. So those, I can use those in another recipe, something that's cooked this weekend. Go ahead and put this back in the oven. We'll pick back up in a little bit. Thanks for staying with me. I just thought I'd show you my next little mama bear. That's a cute one. My son used to call me that. Okay, so my chicken, rice, string beans, they've got to cook about for another hour or so, and I don't want to leave the camera paused that long. I'll just make the thumbnail be the finished dish. But we've got Carolina wings, Spanish rice, French string beans. Happy 2023. Have a good new year. Don't forget to have your black eyed peas. Hey, Tito says hi. Oh, I got one chihuahua always with me somewhere in the kitchen. God bless. Thank you for watching.